we can begin. Yeah, okay.
Awesome.
So yeah, great. Glad that you both are able to meet with us today.
Yes, thank you for coming for sure. Let's see. We'll start out with Project 75. Let's get an update for the test kits and how's everything going for next weekend.
Yes, everything is going on well. We've had, like I said, as at last week, Dr. Kweku Aseidu, who owns a company called the Can Holdings, donated 500 HIV test kits to us. The
Wow.
other screenings we are going to do, we have organized all the test kits, 1,000 each. We were hoping to get another 500 from Ghana AIDS Commission. Unfortunately, I had a meeting with um, their programs director 2 days ago, and yesterday I had to meet the regional director because, according to the program director, he could not issue the test case. So I met the regional director yesterday, and he said that because the year is ending, they have exhausted all their logistics, and the test case they had with them has expired. An organization wrote to them that they were going to conduct a screening in one of the communities. So they reserved 800 test kits for the organization, and unfortunately, they couldn't carry out the exercise. So those test kits had expired, and they were offering to give us condoms, and then also assured us that starting from next year, when they receive test kits, they can always help out. Um, Also, with regards to volunteers, I have been talking to some personal friends. Visitations to the office has not been matched by people who are willing to volunteer.
Hmm.
However, there's this organization called the Hereafter Foundation.
Okay.
So I spoke with them. We had previously discussed about the event, and I spoke with them yesterday. I conference. It was a conference call, so Ben was on the call,
Oh, good.
and they asked that we bring a formal documentation. So today we sent a letter to them.
Hmm.
Uh, so they said they are going to look through and get back to us latest by Monday. They will be able to dispatch some volunteers to us. We've asked that they give us 10 volunteers. They have recruited these volunteers for their organization, but they can support us with 10 of those volunteers
Okay.
uh, to come and support the volunteers we would also be able to recruit. On our own, so far, I have confirmed 6 volunteers who will be signing the forms on Monday.
Okay.
So getting 10 from them would mean we've had 16 volunteers in number.
Uh-huh.
They also indicated on the phone call yesterday that they would have been part of the event. Unfortunately, on the 22nd, they are supposed to be in Accra for another program
Uh-huh.
that they had already given commitment. So the entire management of the foundation will be in Accra for that event.
I see.
However, they can send their volunteers to come and support us.
Okay.
So basically, that's the update so far for Project
Okay. So
75.
yeah. So let me recap that. So we have 1,000 test kits for all testing except for the HIV because the Ghana AIDS Commission had some tests that expired. So we'll need to take a decision on purchasing additional test kits or reducing our numbers or doing something different. And then as far as the volunteers go, you feel that we have enough at 16, and you'll have that confirmed by Monday. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. And I think the 16 will be enough. Just
Yep.
this evening, when I went to get food, I met another lady who said she completed a Gushegu uh, nursing training. When I told her I was from Gushegu, and then I told her that, oh, we have an event that is a health screening, and since she's a health professional, would she want to participate? And she said she would come. So I took her number. I'm yet to have a conversation with her. If she equally confirms, that means they will be standing at 7.
Yes,
Ben
and
has
also on
also spoken
Tuesday
to.
or Monday,
Yeah.
we had the other lady that came to the office too, Sarah. So she has signed the form already.
Okay.
So I think we can have her added to the number. I also have some of my friends from Nalerugu who are currently nurses in Tamale at the moment. I'm speaking to them. If they won't have any shifts on Saturday, they could come around to support us.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
great. That's great. So it sounds like as far as the volunteers go, we'll have enough. But my concern is the test kits and keeping the numbers consistent. Um, how do you feel we should proceed, Salam? And then I want to hear from Benny as well.
Okay. I think since Salam is not speaking, I go first.
Okay, sounds good.
Yes. Um. So with the number, um, I think I was looking at we doing if 500 would be okay
Hmm.
because it's about having an effective health screening for those that would be available. Though we are hoping to see that more people beyond that come, but also I've been considering the fact that Tamale round right now is a bit of a city, not like in the communities where we easily could mobilize people instantly at a go.
Uh-huh.
Tamale, there are a lot of activities that are really ongoing, and our office happens to be in the heart of Tamale,
Hmm.
not an outskirt. So um, I'm seeing that we might not get above 1,000. So we can be looking at having 500 so that we can be consistent with our test kits. Yeah, I don't know if Salam has any other, but that is what I am looking at if
Okay,
we could go
okay,
that path.
okay.
Yeah.
So we're thinking that the number of the people that will attend the event, you're saying, Benny, might be lower than what we anticipated at 1,000, and so maybe we should downshift to that 500 number with all of the test kits. Is that what I hear you saying?
Yes.
Okay, great. And Salam, what are your thoughts on that?
Yes. Hello.
Yes, hello.
Yes.
Did you hear
So I
Benny?
think I agree with what Ben said. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I think I agree with what Ben said that we get additional 500 test kits for the HIV so that we have a round figure for all.
Okay, so Ben, I don't know if you maybe didn't hear what Ben said, but I'll repeat what Ben said to make sure that I have it right. Ben was thinking that we wouldn't have 1,000 people attend the event, and he thought that maybe we should just use 500 test kits for HIV as the standard number across all tests.
Yeah, that's a possibility, but uh, in the event that we have more than the 500, then that means we will test people for the other and not be able to test for uh, HIV, unless maybe we take a decision to say that we will not. We take a decision to say that we will just do 500 for all, so that we can keep the other 500 for future events.
Right. And I think that I think this kind of brings us to a bigger question as I was talking with the president earlier, is that maybe is what we should do instead of trying to keep all these numbers in alignment, maybe I should change the way that we collect the data, and that we should break the number. We should just how should I say it? Only don't use don't try to calculate a percentage. Don't assume, I'm sorry. Let me try and say it again. Add another field to each of the tests to say if we had a test kit for them. So now we would break down those who had tests and those who were tested, were they positive or negative for each of the diseases. So hepatitis B, hepatitis C, there would be another check mark on the form that says we actually had a test, they were tested, this was the result, it was positive, and this is instead of trying to use this overarching number of 1,500 people were tested or 1,200 people were tested, maybe we should change the way that we collect data so that it's test specific. So we look at percentages. If we only have 500 tests, we only test 500 HIV. Once those test kits are gone, then we continue to test for typhoid until those test kits are gone. But when we collect the data, we represent it as a percentage for how many people were tested, not how many people attended the event. Does that make sense?
Mm, yep.
Yes, but I think the rationale behind we always indicating that maybe we had 1,500 or whatever number of beneficiaries is that for me, when people show up for our event, some, for instance, the ladies will definitely walk away with sanitary pads.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody may get tested, but at the end of the day, everybody gets something because somebody get tested for, um, say, malaria and whatever we are testing at the event. Somebody is not able to get tested at the event, but the person gets a sanitary pad. So, like you said, we can have, maybe we can say we have
Benny,
Well,
do you want to go? Do you want to
y-
continue?
yes. So that means with the new idea that's being proposed, our calculation wouldn't be based on the overall number of people tested.
Right.
Yes, but we look at individual tests.
Yeah. Yeah, so we would say that, for example, I have to look at the form. I apologize. I can't remember exactly what's on the form because I don't use the form. Uh, uh, Benny, do you when I'm looking at the form, I see that there is a checkbox for if they've been tested and then what the
Yes.
result was.
Yes.
And so I think we already gathered the information we need because if someone was tested for HIV or not, that would show up there. The thing that we have to do is not base the percentage of positives on the total number of people at the event, but in fact, how many have the tested for hepatitis B checkbox and were positive. That's the percentage that we need to get. How many were tested for Hep B? How many were positive for Hep B?
Okay. Yes. I think I fully understand that.
Yeah. So I think that we already have the data being collected properly, and maybe this falsehood of having to have the test counts match up. Because the worst case scenario is that we have test kits that expire, just like the Ghana AIDS Commission. That would be the worst case scenario, right?
Yes.
We don't want to hold on to these tests. We want to use them while they're valid. We don't want to have any inventory. And actually, Salam, if you're back on, I can't tell right now, but if you are, we have to have no inventory of tests by the end of the year.
Okay.
So our goal is to always use all of the tests every year. So if we simply use the data collection form in the way that it's designed today and don't try to base it on 1,500 people attended the event and we identified 10 cases, that means 1.5% of the people tested were positive. That's actually not true.
Yes.
If we look at the number of people that were tested and the positivity, that will give us the percentage of people that were tested positive out of all those were tested, regardless of what the number was. And we can still use that 1,500 number when we uh, when we talk about how many people were impacted at the event. Does that make sense to you, Ben?
Yes, yes, it does. So in this case, we can have people even testing for two of the tests,
Mm-hmm.
and that would be considered valid because we, at the end of the day, we are looking at the number of positives out of that total number tested for malaria.
Mm-hmm.
And HIV could be different. We could look at the number of positives tested out of HIV, which might not be the same number of tests that were made for the malaria test.
Yeah,
So I
exactly.
think that is understandable. It will depend on how we represent the data after the test.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think is what I just identified after looking at the form and discussing this a little bit more is that in fact we're currently representing the data as a percentage of those who attended, which is invalid. We need to represent it based on the number tested, and then all our problems go away. Because if the Ghana AIDS Commission can't give us more than, if we can't get additional 500 tests, we don't have to allocate those resources to try to make it even. We just go with the number that it is. If they gave us 502 tests, then we use all 502 and we base the percentage of positivity on the yes and the 502 number. That gives us the percentage positive, and that's only for HIV. So rather than trying to lump these together and say every person was tested for everything, we're just going to look at the disease and its positivity rate as opposed to the number that we helped. Now, when we look at the overall number of people helped, if we identified 502 people that were tested for HIV and 502 that were tested for malaria, then we'll say 1,400 were impacted at the event. Do you agree with this, Ben?
Yeah, sure.
And
Yes.
Salam, what are your thoughts on this? Hopefully you've been able to follow along.
Yes, I think I agree with this, and it makes sense. Yeah, that we should look at the number of people that tested for each category, and the data should represent the number of positives out of the number that tested.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, if we just look at it as a whole, then it gives the impression sometimes that um, there's no much cases. For instance, if we've had an event and the number of attendance is, let's say, 1,500 people, and at the end of the event, maybe 500 or 200 tested for hepatitis B, and out of the 200, you've had 10 people who are positive for hepatitis B. When you look at the 10 as a fraction of the 1,500, then it um, it undermines the value of the exercise.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I
It
think
skews the data. Yeah, because it's not everyone that got tested.
yes,
And the nice thing about doing it this way is we won't ever have a balance of tests that we need to either use quickly before the end of the year, before they expire, anything like this. We can say we're going to buy X number of tests, we got donated X number of tests, and this is what we're going to do.
So what if,
Yeah.
I don't know how feasible this is, but what if we did like a post saying, hey, we have this medical event coming up next weekend. We're short on HIV kits. Can you make an emergency donation or something like that to see how many more how much money we could get to buy the test kits?
I think it's a good point. My only question is, where will that post be focused? Is that post focused on trying to generate money from Ghanaian people or Ghanaian organizations, like maybe other nonprofits or foundations, or is that targeted at our US base and wanting them to say, okay, we've got $50, we're going to make a donation to make it happen? Where are you trying to get the resources from? Is it from the Ghanaian people and organizations, government, etc., or is it from the U.S. side or Mexico or global? I mean,
Yeah,
really.
I mean, initially I thought globally,
Hmm.
and I don't know if it would benefit, tapping those organizations that are in Ghana that if they could donate, I don't know. It was just an
Yeah,
idea.
no, it's a good idea, and I think the other thing with the idea is that we have to be careful not to go to that well often,
Hmm.
because it could
Yeah.
be like, they're having another event, they're short again, I can't donate, and then they feel guilt and stop following.
Hmm.
So I agree it's something that we should explore, and maybe we should discuss more with Salam and Benny now. What are your thoughts on that, Benny, from a social media standpoint? I mean, we don't personally, while we solicited donations, we haven't really gotten donations unless we've gone out to people and solicited those individually. We haven't really gotten people who said, I saw your Facebook post and I donated. Benny, do you have any thoughts on that?
Yep. So I think it it's a good idea, but with the state we are now, and especially with Ghanaian organizations, most of them would like for things to be done officially. Just
Uh-huh.
like in writing, you write to them seeking for donations, which things Salam have written to a number
Yeah.
of the organizations that we've not had response. I think, hardly will we have an organization come across our post and reaching out to donate to us directly.
Uh-huh.
The same appears to the Ghanaian people. Whilst we're making the US aid post, other people thought we were just a Ghanaian based organization.
Mm.
So some of the comments were like, "Oh, we are doing this to get money
Mm-hmm.
and to put it in our pockets."
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so they felt like probably the organization is run by some people who are capitalizing on the US aid to seek for donations, which would not probably even be used for the purpose or the work, the humanitarian work we are looking at, but rather just to enrich ourselves. So, I'm sure probably in future as we grow, we could explore that option. But at the moment, I don't think that will yield enough result for us, even looking at the time span left for the event to take place.
Good
Yeah.
good feedback, Benny.
Yeah,
And
excellent.
I think that it goes to Salam's effort with writing letters and seeking donations. I think that Benny's point is a valid one, is that I don't see an organization following our organization and being like, oh, they need help, I'm going to give some test kits. I think it's more, as Benny pointed out, that um, Salam writing a letter, speaking personally with someone at the organization, whether that's the director or liaison or whomever, that is going to turn up a donation as opposed to someone going to our website and making a donation, etc. So, Salam, what do you think about this?
Yes, so I think the best way to go is what Ben said. In the first place, per the regulations of governing nonprofits, uh, we are not allowed to publicly solicit for donations within the Ghanaian community.
Hmm.
However, just like you said, at my level, I can personally engage people, friends, and even strangers I meet who operate in our field that I think they can help. Talk to them to help. On the social media aspect, one thing I would like to suggest is maybe I've been able to convince Dr. Kwekwa Asidun Ketia Jr. to have donated this 500 HIV test case. Um, he's a big guy in Ghana. People respect him. He's well known.
Hmm.
So maybe a post with his picture thanking him for donating 500 HIV test kits in support of our events and subtly saying that others can do so um, may yield some results.
Hmm.
Just to
Right.
go about it as not that we are openly soliciting, because we have not made any post asking for people to support us, but he has done it voluntarily,
Right.
and we are just thanking him and calling on other people that they can also reach out as well to donate voluntarily if they wish.
Yeah.
Then I think we also need to, going forward, we need to identify as many organizations, businesses, etc., as possible that can support our events going forward and just begin to build a relationship with them. It takes time because for an organization or an individual who probably have never heard of you or seen your works, it doesn't just take a one-time meeting or a single letter to convince the person to support you.
Right.
The person may need to see your success stories. The person will need to be convinced that when I give you $1 or a test kit, it's going to be used for the right purpose.
Uh-huh.
Because, like Ben rightly said, it is very common here, and I'm sure you probably might have read that in the media or news, that people use NGOs to enrich themselves.
Hmm.
People come under the disguise of organizing events just to make money
Hmm.
instead of actually the purpose, fulfilling the purpose for which they are organizing the event. So people who are well-meaning don't even care anymore. They don't even pay attention anymore. The moment they see you promoting an event like this, they think that, oh, he's just trying to get some money,
Uh-huh.
you know, for himself or for herself. So it will be difficult, but over time, I'm sure we can get few people, few organizations following and committed to support our cause.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point, Salam, and I'm in favor of highlighting donors on our social media.
Yeah, because we had said afterwards
Yeah,
we were gonna do that.
yeah. Well, you said that we're going to do that afterwards, but whenever Benny uh, or you have it in your schedule or you feel it's the right time, I think highlighting individuals who have made these types of donations is a good idea, and I think that what I heard Salam saying is, again, it's about demonstrating your work and your commitment more than it is asking for donations. I think once we continue to donate, we continue to execute as we've always done, this will push the donations a lot further and a lot faster than simply asking for donations, because there are people, even in the US, that feel NGOs are too self enriching and are not doing what their mission work is. And so, in an effort to break down that stigmatism, I think by highlighting individuals who have stepped out or organizations that have stepped out and made donations to the organization. That helps build, as Salam said, this is a well respected person. He's known in certain circles. When they see that he is highlighted and what he has done, that he now believes in our efforts, then maybe other people will use that as a flag to say, okay, I can trust this organization because it's not only what I've seen, but it's also what so and so has seen or what so and so has done, or I trust that organization. So it's very much, as Salam said, it's about building these reputable circles of supporters rather than blanket asks for donations to help us get over the mark. Now, there might be a time to do that, but I don't think we're mature enough to do that right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
So I think it's a good point. And I think that in some circles it would work, but I think we're just not there yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a good point.
And because we had talked about doing a Giving Tuesday post.
Yes.
So that's why I was thinking too.
And Benny, do you know of this Giving Tuesday concept?
No, please.
Okay,
Sure,
so
American.
yeah,
Yes.
it's an American thing, and it's partially because Christmas is so materialistic that on the Tuesday after the 27th, can you find out what day it is?
Well, first on always the day after Thanksgiving is called Black Friday. And so people do crazy things as far as like going to the store at 12:01 just past midnight on Black Friday, and they're at Walmart or Home Depot or wherever to get these amazing supposedly deals on things. And so it came from that to, rather than focusing on the materialistic of that Black Friday, and have it as a Giving Tuesday on, it'll be Tuesday, December 2nd, having that as Giving Tuesday. So then you would donate to, a local charity, your favorite charity, or whatever it is to support them.
Right. So in the US, this is like the day that generates the most revenue for nonprofits. Literally the day, December 2nd. So we'll need a post that goes out and highlighting this individual who donated test kits on that day and saying, look, this is the impact one individual had. Maybe it's time for you to step up and make a donation today. I think would be beneficial. Does that make
Uh,
sense on what Giving Tuesday is?
yes, yes. So I think we can capitalize on that event to make the posts.
Yeah.
Then yes.
So
So I think
Salam,
I'll
if
just write it down.
okay, yeah, if you could make a note and take that as an action item that we need a Giving Tuesday post, and that Salam has the contact, I think, and the content for it, but you'll need to write it. And it should be a blog
Yeah.
post. It should be a blog post, I believe, or do you think it should just be a social media post?
We can do both blog posts and social media would be good.
Okay, yeah, so
I think let's table this because it's a couple weeks out to maybe next week's meeting,
okay.
because we have some other things to talk over before we have to let Salam go.
Yeah, so the last thing is, Ben, you're going to also take the action item to get the photo of this individual if you don't mind.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know how that will take place. If maybe he can visit the office, or Salam, you can get him in touch with this individual, but maybe just a portrait of him, or maybe he already has a photo that he likes of him that he wants to use. But if you could work with Salam on getting the picture and the content, and then if we could have a look at the post, Benny, just because it really is an American thing, then we can preview that or have Elena preview it on before it goes out on that December 2nd date. Does that sound okay to you?
Yeah, sure. That's fine.
Okay. And Salam, you can work with Benny on that?
Yeah, I can get Ben his picture. I'm sure Ben can get even his pictures. He's a popular person in Ghana, so I
Yeah,
can get
sure.
a nice picture of him for Ben.
Great.
Okay.
Great. I think that's good discussion. And just to finalize Project 75, we're
Mhm.
going to go with the number of test kits that we have. And when the data is collected, we'll report on it differently, which means that we don't always have to have the same number of people being tested for each individual disease.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Great.
Perfect. Thank you for that. Salam, I just wanted to check in about the bank account. Did you receive the application this week or any kind of paperwork?
Yeah. So I visited the bank and they confirmed they have received a letter from social welfare. And again, they said the Bank of Ghana has brought out a new regulation which has flagged or categorized all non-profit organization accounts as high risk accounts.
Ah,
And for that matter, they will need all signatories to be present to go through biometric verifications. And also, you will need one of the rules also is that foreigners doing business in Ghana must have residency permits, residential permits. So the bank will need that as well. So the only option was that um, since I have the Anthony of the President, I could open, they could use my credentials and my verification to set up the accounts for the organization. And then the president can have their application with the login details, the password, she can change it and manage the account remotely till you are in Ghana to undergo the verifications. And before then, you need to acquire the residency permits to undergo the verifications to be kept on the account formally.
okay,
Would we
well,
use the
sorry, go ahead.
would we use the residency like of our office? Can we use that as a residency?
Yeah, I think that should be possible, but I will find out from the immigration officers. I'll talk to some. I really don't know the processes involved, but
Hmm.
I'll get that and then share that with you.
Oh,
Okay, because the other question or concern, and you can answer this definitely, is that will we be able to manage it from here? Like, would they know? Because I know, like, say for instance, when you go, like, even CVS, which is a drugstore here, when we were in Canada, I could not access their website, even being in Canada and it being an American company. So I had to wait till I was back, in America, across the border to be able to use it. So I don't know if that's going to be an issue.
Yes, so they said they have an application, an app you have to download from your app store or Apple store,
mm-hmm.
Okay.
and you can operate it from anywhere in the
Okay.
world.
So they're
Okay.
not,
They
so
also
I guess,
have they also have a Mastercard for online payments and all of that. Yeah, and they have e-checks.
okay.
So
I think the
you
thing
can
that we're most interested is not the MasterCard or the e-checks and those types of thing, is just the mobile money number and the ability for grant funds to be deposited directly into the account. And that
yes, that is doable. I mean,
okay.
that's the purpose for the accounts anyway.
Yeah.
I told them that.
Okay. And so
Yeah.
Salam, let me back up just a minute. So you talked about residency. So that means that the 5 board members need to all be residents of Ghana
Or just the signers on
or
the
just the
account.
signers for the account?
Just the signers for the accounts.
Okay. So
Yes.
if we
That's the
have,
bank. That's the new BOG bank regulation requirement that the signees to a business account in Ghana who are not nationals must have residence permit.
okay. And so
Yes,
a residence permit means that I can come live in Ghana if I want. I mean, that's we're talking about the same thing, right?
yes.
Okay. And then
Yes.
we
So
have to,
someone was telling me you can get it for, I think someone said we can get it for either 5 years or we can get it and renew it every year.
okay.
Yeah.
And so this is an attachment essentially with the Ghana card, or this is the Ghana card.
No, these are separate documents.
Okay. And so
So
this resident,
now the Ghana is trying to move. Before the Ghana card, we didn't have a unique national ID. So Ghana is trying to make sure the Ghana card becomes a unique national ID that is used for all forms of official verifications, official businesses. So even foreign nationals are also required to get the Ghana card. But your Ghana card would indicate that you are not um, a citizen of Ghana, but you do business in Ghana. So
uh-huh,
you can use the Ghana card for any form of transaction.
I
Now, when
see.
you go to the bank for transactions in Ghana, it is your Ghana card you need. If you have to fly our local airlines, it is the Ghana card most of the time they use. That is we the indigenes.
Uh-huh.
But of course, foreigners uses their passport.
Right.
I think these days, even schools, it's a requirement that you must hold a Ghana card to enter our universities and all major institutions.
Okay. So if you could, Salam, if you could include that in your office budget, um, what that entails as far as getting a Ghana card for myself and the Presidio. I don't know that we will have a third signer because Daniel, who is the vice president, who would be that third signer and is on accounts in the U.S. I don't. He's not planning on traveling to Ghana in this in 26. So I don't know if we'll just have two signers on the account and put him on as a potential signer, or I don't know how we do that. Until we see the application, we won't know for sure. But I think uh, what I hear you saying is that we have two options right now. Either we wait on the bank account until the Presidio and I come to Ghana for the biometrics and the Ghana card, the residency, or we have you with the power of attorney set it up, and then you, who is the bank account owner, if you will, adds the Presidio and myself when we come in April of 26. Is that what I hear, Salam?
Yes.
Okay,
So
I think that's a decision we'll have to take with the board,
yeah.
and that if Daniel is to be a signer, that he needs to know he needs to go, if that's what the board decides.
Could have
Yes.
Elena as a signer, as a
So we
secretary,
can.
because she is going on the trip.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Okay.
so we could have
Okay.
a
So
we
we can have Elena and yourself and the president, and then at any time the signees can change. You just have to write to the bank. Even with the three signees, you would still the organization will have to still issue an instruction to the bank as to how many people are required to approve or sign at a time for a transaction to go through.
Uh-huh.
Yes, so they will make either two or all three or one person. So in the event that maybe we have to make an expenditure through the account, maybe the CFO alone can just sign and the expenditure can be made.
Yeah.
Or we need all two or we need all three at a time. So this will have to be an instruction that when you are setting up the account, we will give to the bank and then they will do that. And
Okay,
at any time, we can replace any of the signees.
okay. And is what I'm think is what the way that it works in the US is we have three signers, but any one of them can execute a transaction independently. So on our US bank account, Abbie, the president, can execute a transaction. I, as the CFO, can execute a transaction, or the vice president can. And that's for just for survivability, really. You know, so in case something were to happen to Abbie and I, the vice president could still execute whatever the needs are of the organization.
You can in the US they'll have it where it's two-sided.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
for
right.
sure. Okay.
So just
Yeah,
so
I
you,
think it is the same. I think it is the same here, but you just have to specify to them how
yeah.
you want it.
Okay, and I just wanted to share that with you, Salam, so you knew how it worked here in the U.S. and why we do it.
Okay,
And so, is what
sure.
we'll do is we'll take that question to the board, President will,
Mm-hmm.
and the board should probably vote on the best way to proceed. Um, whether that's, I guess there's three options. The president and I travel now and open the account. The president and I travel in April and we're added, and you open the account, Salam, or three, we don't open the account until April.
Yeah, those
Okay.
are the three options.
Okay, great. So we'll pose that to the board and probably need to take a formal vote on that
Yeah.
because it's an international account. Okay,
Yeah,
great.
perfect. Let's see. Medical data entry reconciliation. How's the medical data entry coming along?
Yes, so the outstanding two have been entered. I was going through the projects to identify. I think we still have one because in 2023 we did an event in Savilugu. So I'm trying to find out the project number and then we'll enter that, and that will be the last for the medicals,
Okay,
the data.
so the ones that I see data for, correct me if I'm wrong, are 29, 32, 43, and pre 27. And
Correct.
and you're saying that you think there's what remaining? Just so I know.
Yes, I think I would talk to Ben maybe after this meeting, and then we'll be able to put it together. I'm trying to find out that event. I think there's one remaining because so far we did Tamale Girls, we did Business Near High, we did Northern Business Near High, we did Bushegu Senior High, we did Savilugu Senior High, we did Bushegu Township.
Mhm.
So those are six.
Okay.
Yes. So we'll figure it out and then have it entered.
Okay, great. And then if you could, I think I posted that in Discord. All of the medical events that we've done in Ghana, and so maybe you can go and
Tamale office?
I think it's here in Tamale office. Does someone have that or know where that list is of that report that I made?
Yes,
Family office.
yes, it's on the family office.
It's on the
It's in
family office.
okay, in Tamale office. So all of the medical events there. So I guess if you could work together and reply to the medical events, reply to the post or the report that I put out there with what's remaining.
Okay,
Does that
we'll do
sound good?
that.
Yeah. And
Yes.
if you need that report again, I can create it. I just don't know where it is.
Yeah, I see
Okay.
it. Yeah, it's there.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, just reply to that post in Discord with the remaining projects or at least the count of projects that we have data outstanding for. And then I'm going to take the action item to rework some of the reporting so that it's based on how many tests were actually performed. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So that we
Yeah.
calculate the percentage right. Now, my question to Benny and you, I know you've both been working on this, is that do we need to adjust some of these test counts at, for example, on 29? Did we really test 2,058 for hepatitis B and only 10 were positive? Or is that number different?
Yeah. So I think with that event, we tested about we took about 1,500 test kits for each, and they all got finished.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, we went with an
Yes.
even number, and they all got finished. So, however, we looked at. So if you look at the 2,058, that was the total number of people who turn up, fill the forms, and one way or the other benefited from the program.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I one the projects I highlighted that we were having an issue doing the corrections were the projects we only had tests for malaria and hepatitis B.
Mm-hmm.
But when I started entering, I think there was I was taken tested for Hep C and also for HIV, but I noticed that no, we didn't make those tests. That was why I quickly drew your attention that there's a number of them that we didn't make tests and they were cleared. So I think that we don't have an issue with that again.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Benny, when you look at the all clinic project data, which is on the report that I created, the data looks as accurate as you think we can make it right now. I mean, we're learning and we're getting better, so that's what's important. But you think it's pretty close right now, and we don't necessarily need to make adjustments for the projects that have been entered. We have some more projects to enter, but going forward, we'll know that the counts will not be consistent for HIV and hepatitis B, etc.
Yes. I think what we've entered, we used to go with the same number of test kits for all the tests we wanted to do.
Uh-huh.
So what we did for what has been entered already, I can say that that is fine. We just
Okay.
have to look at the next projects coming.
Okay. Great. So
Yes.
what we'll have a little bit of a, so, you know, while our numbers aren't 100% accurate maybe for past projects, they're going to get better in the future, which is what's important.
Yeah, sure. So
Yeah.
another thing is reconciling um the numbers from our post to the actual data we have entered, which is an action item for me to do. So I'll work on that as well.
Great,
Okay.
great, great. And what you the number that number in the blog post, for example, should be the highest number of tests that we performed or people that we provided pads to or whatever. Agree?
Yeah, sure. Agree.
Oh, okay. Great.
Perfect. I think trying to finish up with Salam. The Starlink suspension, Salam, were you able to pause that?
Yes, I did, and so it's suspended now. But I got an email that it will be completed completely cancelled on the 10th of December.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So I
Yes.
think is what that means is that you can use it till the 10th of December, probably just the way the billing cycle went.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
And it may or may not be that because I got a notification that because it's the old credit card number still. So it tried to pay, and then that triggered me to check in and see. So it may
Okay.
not be because we weren't able to update the credit card, remember, on that account.
Right.
So
Okay, so we don't I personally I don't hear an issue with what's happening, and we can work with Sally Fu when it comes time.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I
that's
spoke
good.
with Salifo yesterday. He said he'll get back to me next week
Okay.
with the day that I told him Sundays would be ideal
Yeah.
for our meeting. So next week he will get back. Said
Okay.
his wife just delivered, so he
Oh,
needs
okay.
congratulations.
Yeah,
phone.
congratulations to him for sure.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything
So
else? Go ahead, Salam.
yes. So my last comments would be that maybe going forward. So myself and Ben was having this discussion yesterday. One of the feedback we've actually been getting trying to mobilize volunteers for give basic needs is that they always come with a mindset that there will be some form of allowance or some form of payment for their services. So we thought I will make the proposal to the Presido that going forward should not be as we used to pay Triple S Foundation, but we can set a standard, say maybe $20 or $30 for they call it. So for a woman who came to the office, when I told her that there won't be payments for this, it's absolutely free, and we are also asking that she offer her services passionately. The comment was that nothing to wash my clothes, So they always say give us something to buy soap and wash our clothes. So we can consider this every time we have an event, not necessarily on a monthly basis, but anytime maybe we have a health screening, the people who show up, we can give them that if that is approved.
Well, I definitely have to talk to the CFO.
Yeah, I
that.
think that are you so okay, let me see if I understand this is right. So you're saying for like let's just take Project 75. So we have 17 volunteers that we're talking about uh, attending and helping us with the project, and you want to give them each 25 US dollar equivalent for things like soap or for their time or food or whatever it might be.
Yes, and
And
their
so
transports and etc.
yeah, and so this should be 340 US for Project 75, for example, and that would be and
Yeah.
that won't happen this time
Yeah.
because we already did the purchase invoices and that's all been approved. But you're saying going forward, you'd like to take the number of volunteers times 20 and give them each 20 US for their efforts.
Correct. Yes,
Okay.
my math is not as good as yours, so
No,
yeah.
I use my calculator. No, it's fine. and
I think, going forward, that's something we can definitely talk about. My only concern is like you give it to them ahead of time and they don't show up. But, I
Yeah,
understand
so I think this should, if approved, would be done maybe after the event, because already in the event we are giving them food. So just when they are done and about leaving, you can just put it in some envelope and say, maybe this is just 20, 25, whatever dollar we've approved that you can transport yourself home.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
because
I think that seems
most of them,
reasonable.
yeah, because most of them are not employed. I think for about 5 years now. So what happens to Ghana to us is that in Ghana, our health sector workers, the nurses, midwives, including the even the medical doctors, when they okay, I think medical doctors are excluded, but most of the health sector workers signs a bond with government,
Uh-huh.
so they receive stipends whilst in school, and the idea is that when they are done with school, they have to wait for government to post them to government facilities to go and work over a period of time where their payments would come with some deductions to replace the stipends they were receiving on campus for a number of years before they can actually go out of their way. Unfortunately, for some time now, the government of Ghana have not been able to establish more health facilities, have not been able to employ more health workers compared to the number of health workers who graduate from our health institutions every year. So we have most of them seated at home
Uh-huh.
doing nothing and eagerly looking for jobs. So,
Uh-huh.
so things like this volunteering is an opportunity they want to actually just take to also earn something small. But
Yeah.
because we are not giving them anything, they feel like I'm not employed. I can't even afford uh, my daily meal. So the little I have, why should I use it to transport myself to Tamale or to the office of Give Basic Needs to offer free services and go home? They would rather just sit home,
Uh-huh.
though they want to do it.
Right.
Right,
Makes
right.
sense.
That makes sense. I think the thing that we should do is do some cost analysis as what it would take to do triple S and make sure that we're still being efficient in that. I don't remember what we were giving to triple S to do the work.
Yeah, so we used to give triple X, I think, 40 or $50 per person.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, so yesterday Ben also mentioned them, and I told Ben that for us to forgive basic needs, it will be more impactful because we are not only just doing health screening, but we're also trying to make life easy for people. So it will be
Mm-hmm.
more impactful instead of giving a $50 or a $40 to Triple S foundation that is coming on board with nurses that are already assigned to are already posted and working. We can actually give this to nurses who are looking for jobs,
Uh-huh.
and it may help them more. After all, they are those on the Triple S side are already earning some salaries.
I see. Yeah,
Yeah,
that makes sense. That makes sense. And then and so yeah, when you work through the budget of future medical clinics, uh include those line items for how many volunteers you want the $20 for, and then we will evaluate that and discuss that during the project evaluation.
okay. Thank you very much for
Yeah, for sure, for sure. We
approving
think that
this.
it's a good thing, and if we can afford to do it, we should. The only thing is we have to, it's got a lot of what is going to happen in 2026 is going to depend on our grant effort. And so we need to put
Yeah,
our best foot forward with the grants, and then we will see where this takes us as to how we grow the organization. And I'm hopeful that with Salifu's uh, knowledge and wisdom in this area, that we can land a few grants that really help us grow the organization. And this would be part of it, obviously.
sure. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and thank you, Salam, for asking. That's something that we really didn't know or realize or take into account. So we appreciate you bringing that up to us as
Yeah,
well.
absolutely.
Okay.
All right. Let's see.
Just the office budget and the media budget. How are those coming?
Yep. So my media budget is almost ready. I was having an issue estimating the number of social media posts we will be doing next year, but I finally settled for at least two posts a week.
Okay.
I don't know if that's reasonable, so that
Yeah.
would give us a number
Yeah,
to.
for sure. That sounds reasonable
to
to me.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Very good.
Okay. Yes. Then also there is a little appeal I wanted to see maybe going forward, and I don't even know if it is in the right category as the media budget. But in future, if we are printing some shirts in Ghana, I was looking at the effort of those in the media army. The only way we could appreciate them for their works, maybe just giving them a Give Basic Needs t-shirt, if
Yeah.
that is possible,
Yeah.
just to motivate them for the work they are doing, so that
Yeah.
it encourages them to do more.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
I think that's great, and that's a great line item. And I think that where we have the opportunity to give away swag or stuff that has our printed logos and things, those are good marketing opportunities, but also good reward opportunities. So I think that makes sense, and those should be a line item on there for sure, Benny.
All right, sure. Thank you.
Hmm. And then Salam, how is the office budget coming?
Yeah, that is the office budget is ready. I just wanted Ben to finish with the media so that we submit it all together for your review,
Okay.
so that we can maybe work at them and come to a final budget put together.
Okay. Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Great. And I think so, Salam, I think the other thing that um, so you have the office budget, Benny has the media budget, and then there'll need to be a project budget. And that will break down the types of project in the three pillars, food, shelter, and medical, that you hope to do in 26. So Salam, I see you having two separate budgets. One being the projects that I just mentioned this, so I don't expect it obviously to be done, but we'll need to do this. What you expect to do in 26 for projects, what the office expenses are for 26 with regards to travel and maybe improvements in the office, etc. And then Benny will have the overall organizational media budget based on what he thinks that we need for social media outreach, as well as something that we haven't touched on yet that we'd like to get a status on, which is the Wikipedia uh, outreach and coordinated effort to get that established. So, um, Salam, that's another piece of the budget that I'd like you to start thinking about as the year comes to a close.
Okay, I will do that maybe along with an action plan, just like I did for the year 2025.
Yeah, it was perfect. It was perfect. Yeah, it really helped us gauge what was going to be needed for the year based on projects. And then if you have the office budget, then that'll tell us office expenses. And then finally, the budget for Benny. And then there'll be some component that will add, obviously, projects in the US, what we think is going to happen. And then if we'll do projects in Mexico or other countries, that'll all be rolled in, and we'll see where we are overall going into the December conference, which will take place around the 23rd of December. So a little more than a month, but these are things that we should start working on.
Okay.
Great.
Very good. I don't have.
Yeah, personally, I don't have anything else for you guys.
Okay. How about you, Ben?
No, I don't have anything else.
Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you both for taking your time again and meeting with us. Appreciate all of your wonderful and hard work, and we will see you on Sunday.
Yes. Oh, sorry, Salam. Do you have anything else?
Oh, sorry.
No, no.
Okay. Okay. Great.
Okay.
Then we'll see
Thank
you
you.
on Sunday. Yeah.
Okay.
Bye bye.
All right.
Thank
Bye.
Bye
you.
Bye
bye.
bye.